everybody, and welcome to the Positively Disney Phone In podcast. I'm Kimberly Bouchard, the host of the podcast and the author of the Positively Disney book series, which I have to tell you guys, I just can't get over this next one that's coming up. It's just going along brilliantly. It is Positively Disney. It's the Star Wars edition, and I'm absolutely having a great time writing it, and very grateful for everybody taking the time to share their stories. Before I go on, I want to welcome all of my Facebook folks and my Twitch folks out there, and a special thank you to my sponsor, Michelle McCune, over at Ears of Experience. You can reach Michelle at MMCKEOWN at themouseexperts.com. She will provide an amazing vacation with everything your must-dos, your picky eaters, concierge, and she even provides text access while you are in the park or on your vacation anywhere. And she also specializes with military families and special needs families. So give her a call, 732-735-1779. Well, we have got a great show ahead of us. And I don't know about you, but a lot of times I find that Animal Kingdom gets a little bit of the short end of the stick when it comes to the four parks. I really love Animal Kingdom. It's one of my favorite parks. And it is something that has grown on me over the years for sure. And something that I found out about Animal Kingdom is that they have a lot of behind the scenes tours. And in a few minutes, we're going to reach out to one of our guests and find out about the Caring for Giants, the VIP Nights of Adventure, as well as the Wild Africa Trek. 3 different excursions she has participated on at Animal Kingdom. And to be honest with you, the only excursion that I have done with my family actually has been the Keys to the Kingdom at Magic Kingdom. So I'm really excited to hear about that. But did you know that because I kind of wanted to know a little bit more about Animal Kingdom before the show. And Animal Kingdom, the whole area used to be sand dunes, believe it or not. And that the whole Magic Kingdom park can actually just about fit into the the whole Animal Kingdom park, which is really quite amazing. To actually should say, sorry, let me back up. The Magic Kingdom can actually just about fit into the safari area of Animal Kingdom, which is absolutely mind-boggling when you think about it, because we only see certain parts of Animal Kingdom, and it's actually set on 110 acres. They, believe it or not, have 4 million trees from over 300 and 2,000 animals with 300 species. And they've collected the shrubs and the animals from all over the world, except for Antarctica. And I can't imagine how they managed to transport those animals over. I think that would just be a huge, huge undertaking to bring them over. And, one thing I was always wondering is, how do they really care for those animals behind the scenes, especially at night? Well, they do bring them in at night, actually. And they are conditioned for different sounds to come in. So, for example, the zebras, if you ring the cowbell, they will start going to their enclosure. And the giraffes, if you blow an athletic whistle, they will start coming into. Now there must be certain, rhythms, or maybe 3 long or 3 short, I'm not too sure. But isn't that amazing that you can condition these animals to come in, because they need to be secure. If there's storms or hurricanes or whatnot, you need them to be safe and secure. And then, of course, the veterinarian staff need to have them trained, conditioned to accept medical attention. I couldn't imagine trying to help out a lion that wouldn't have been pre-trained or conditioned to work with a vet. That would be quite a disaster. I want to welcome my husband Jacques and Regina. Welcome to the show, and any of you Twitch followers out there. Something that I was also kind of interested in learning about, because we had an incident on the safari where the cast member, I think it was a couple of vehicles ahead of us, went off the wrong trail, and it backed us all up for about 20 minutes. And we were very lucky to be stopped in front of the lion's den. And there, the lion and his lioness were the whole time. And he growled and kind of gruffed, kind of, it's hard to explain. If you can imagine a lion voice kind of barking, that's what he did. He was very aware of us, and he'd get up and kind of walk around his territory. It was really, really interesting. But did you know that the rocks are thermostatically controlled? So in the summer, they are cooled so that the lion would like to, the lioness will lay out on the rock. And in the winter time, in the winter, it is warmed up for them. So isn't that cool? Like hot rocks, like that is just awesome. Hey, Stan, welcome to the show. Glad you could join us tonight. Another thing that I found on the safari, it's really, really bumpy. And I'll never forget when I was pregnant with one of the kids. I can't even remember which one. And I wasn't that far along, but it said, oh, no, you know, pregnant women or whatever. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I waited in line so far. And I thought, I'm going to take my chance. So I did. I just kind of held myself up a little bit to avoid the bumps. But those bumps were man-made. So what the Imagineers did, and the powers that be did, is they actually created the cement to match the color of the dirt around. While it was wet, they drove trucks through it to give those tracks, that look like they're well-worn tracks. And then they proceeded to throw debris on it, twigs and dirt and little stones. And that's how you get that kind of bumpy feeling, obviously, because of the way they created throwing the debris on and letting it settle in the cement. Just want to say hi to Mike as well, that has joined us. Glad you could join us tonight, Mike. Um, and something else, I don't know if you guys have ever experienced the animals coming close up to you. I know the giraffes will come fairly close to the vehicle, and an ostrich I know came up pretty darn close to our vehicle as well. And as of, I think was it last month, there was an actual draft board in front of the safari people, which is really a cool experience. But, of course, they have different moats and different fences that are hidden from our view, to protect the animals, keep them in their designated areas and protect them from each other. But they also, to encourage them not to hide out in the back, they have salt licks and various treats, I should say, in tree stumps and the reeds that you would find, in the rocks and things like that around, so that when you're on your safari, you can actually see the animals and they're not all hiding. However, on any safari, you know that some of the best viewing is really first thing in the morning. I know I've seen so many of the animals first thing in the morning, and then at night again. So sort of when their feeding cycle is, I guess. Welcome to Alex. Hey, Alex, how are you doing all the way over there? Thanks for joining me tonight. Stan said he had a rink, but I'm sure he's saying meant a rhino. That was a typo. Come super close. I could have easily touched him if I wanted to break the rules. Oh my gosh, I've never experienced a rhinoceros coming that close. That would be kind of crazy business, because they're pretty dangerous actually. Welcome to Gina as well. Thanks, Gina, for joining me tonight. Another thing I wanted to talk about is that amazing, amazing boboa tree. It looks like, and it's the tree of life that you see in Animal Kingdom, the icon for that park. And the projection of the show on there is absolutely spectacular. And I had the very good fortune to actually meet one of the Imagineers that worked on that technology, on that worked on the tree, and how she explained to us how it became what it became. And not only is she a beautiful person inside and out, but it was really fascinating to find out that technology that, I mean, we didn't have that technology 10 years ago, and how even Disney is keeping up and working, forging ahead really in the technology field as far as bringing it into the attractions and things like that. But that tree, now, if you guys can imagine an oil derrick, in the water. I mean, anybody that's cruised has seen them sticking out. Anybody that has seen some of the movies, I can't even remember one off the top of my head, the name of it, but I think Bruce Willis was in it, and there's a huge oil derrick. So a 14-story high oil derrick was actually the rig, sorry, the oil rig part of it was placed prior to the tree being placed over it. And I don't know about you, but that would take some real engineering to get that um, tree into place over that rig. And it's actually hurricane storm kind of, it can withstand hurricanes and storms. So who would have thought, I wouldn't have known that and thought that at all. Welcome to Amy Sue and Tisha. Thanks for joining us tonight. I just wanted to share with you one other thing that I thought was really kind of fun. Of course, we all know about Pandora now. Well, most of us, anyways. And it is an absolutely amazing area in the day and the night. And there are 22 floating type mountains in that area. And there's about 500 trees, 10,000 shrubs mingled with a variety of the lit shrubbery and all that. And it looks very real, of course, to us, and believe it or not, it looked very real to the botanists that actually were in charge of trimming the various shrubbery and trees and stuff like that in Pandora. So much so that on one particular trim, probably early to the opening, they actually started trimming the lit and fiber optic plants, and to their dismay they saw wires that they were cutting through, so they really had to kind of backtrack and re-look very closely at that shrubbery and that fauna that they were having to trim, because some of it didn't need trimming. um Another thing I wanted to share with you is, and I want to ask you guys, there's a lot of different attractions on there. In not only, well, Pandora, you've got mainly the Flight of Passage, but then in the regular Animal Kingdom part, what's your favorite attraction in there? Because there's Everest, which I've ridden once. I won't ride it again, but at least I can say I've ridden it. There's the, let's see, there's the, what's the, well, the safari, obviously, which is my favorite. I have to admit, I just think it's so cool to see those animals that you normally would not see that close unless you went to Africa. And the, oh, Cali River Rapids, there you go. But anyways, share with me what your favorite attraction is. I wanted to let you know that if you want to call in, the number is 844-483-4763. But right now, we are going to get Amy on the line, and she is going to talk to us about her experiences of the excursions on her visit to Animal Kingdom. And I can't wait, because I don't know a thing about them, and look forward to hearing what she has to say. So we're going to just get Amy on the line here in a moment. And Oh, Lion King show. Yeah, Regina, love that. I'll talk
Hello?
to you. Hi, Amy. This is Kimberly Bouchard. How are you doing?
Hello?
Hello? Hi, Amy? Hi. Can you hear me? Okay, we're trying to connect to Amy. Amy, can you hear it all? I can hear you. Okay, we're going to just
Hello?
hi, Amy? Hello? All right. Well, we're going to see what is going on with that. Um I'm just wondering with my sound guy what we need to do, if we need to just fix something on our end or have Amy call in. So, um do you okay, I guess we're going to redial Amy. I was just going to say, Regina, I'm going to talk something a little bit about the Lion King show towards the end of this show, which is absolutely my all-time favorite. I have to go every single time I visit Animal Kingdom. Yeah, Stan Solo
Hello?
Safari is good too. Hi, Amy. Are you
Hi.
there?
Yes, me? Yes.
Oh, yay. Okay. It's Kimberly Bouchard. Sorry, we were having, I don't know what happened. I could hear you fine, but now we've got you on. Thank you so much for coming on the show tonight. And I can't wait to hear about your excursions that you can tell about us, because I've never been on those excursions at Animal Kingdom. And I wanted to start with Caring for the Giants. Can you tell us what it's about and what you did on it?
So the Caring for Giants was mostly so that we could be closer up to the elephants because my daughter really wanted to see them.
Ah,
And we went out in the early morning and we met the cast members right up near the Kilimanjaro Safari.
okay.
And they put us on like an air conditioned truck van, and we
Okay.
went over to the elephant habitat,
Oh.
and we walked up to where the elephants were and stood and just watched them, and we got to spend, I think, about a half of an hour with them. And while we were there was a cast member from Africa, a cultural representative.
Oh, fun. Oh my gosh.
And yeah, she was very knowledgeable and very warm, like just
Um,
very friendly and nice to be around,
mm,
and talked to us all about conservation and
mhm.
about the hunting of ivory, and really told us about the elephants themselves and what they struggle with in their native country, the
Mm,
differences African elephants and Indian elephants.
mhm.
And we got to be really close up to them, and we even got to see the new baby. I think her name is Stella.
Oh, yeah. Oh my gosh. You know what? It would be a dream of mine to spend half an hour like with a little baby elephant nearby. I know my daughter's friend has been to where is it? Where would they have it? I can't remember somewhere in Asia that she was traveling, and she sent a photo to us of a baby elephant sitting in her lap. Can you imagine?
Oh my gosh,
I
no, that's
know, I
so
know.
cool.
And of course, I know we can't do that at Animal Kingdom, but oh, now how close were you to them?
um, well, they obviously they keep you from being close enough to disturb them or touch
Okay,
them, which we
okay,
knew ahead of time,
okay.
and we were completely fine with that. So
Oh,
I would say maybe yards, 30 yards, 40
wow.
yards. They were pretty close, yeah.
So if they
And
decided to fire some water off, it would hit you, right? Or
yeah.
that's pretty close. My goodness, I'm trying to get an idea. So you actually, of course, the trucks drive and drop off food and things like that. So you guys were
hmm
literally behind, like in their
hmm
habitat itself, pretty much, or just on the
We
outskirts,
were
or
just right on the edge of their habitat. So when we
uh,
were looking in, we could actually see the Kilimanjaro safari trucks that
oh,
were everybody else on their,
mm-hmm.
traction ride itself,
Yeah.
and see them right on the other side of the elephants.
Oh, that is so awesome. And isn't
hmm
that neat to have an expert from the actual country? Well, one of the countries, because you said Africa, so we've got the two types of
Yeah, I don't
elephants.
know which part of Africa though.
Yeah, that is so cool though to have that. I'm sure that Disney probably tries to bring in the appropriate, you wouldn't want somebody in Norway, for example, trying to
Right. They do a
do that,
very good
right?
job
Yeah.
with that. Hmm.
Oh, that's great. How long was the excursion?
Well, I think we were over with the elephants for about 30 minutes. And then we
Okay.
also had the drive from where we met them, right in Africa,
Right.
around to where we were going, because we had to go back all the way around the outskirts of the whole Kilimanjaro safari to get to
Nice.
the elephants and then back
Nice.
around.
Ah, nice. And I imagine, so you said in the morning, so I imagine they're probably trying to get to them before it was too hot and, they were mulling
They
about.
do say it's better to go in the morning. Hmm.
Okay. Okay.
And they actually say that they're really active when it rains.
Oh, well, sure. That wouldn't that be fun? I think that's probably what they look at it as, right? Did they say how
Hmm.
many elephants they do have in the habitat?
Oh, I don't know.
No.
They might
Okay.
have, but I definitely cannot remember.
Right. That's okay. No worries. They seem like they have quite a few, like not overly populated, but I love elephants. I love their whole family orientation and that all the females will help raise the babies. I think that's
Yeah, they're definitely maternal. Hmm.
isn't that a beautiful, I just
The
think it's
matriarch.
beautiful. Yeah, yeah. And they take care of their old,
Right. Hmm.
it's fascinating, these elephants, definitely. I wanna move on to the Wild Africa Trek, because I wanna hit the last one, little bit after, but what is the Wild Africa Trek?
Well, that was a about a 3 hour behind the scenes tour, I guess is what
Okay,
you call it.
okay.
But it is worth every single penny that we spent on it.
Really?
It's amazing. It
Okay,
was my husband and I and my two teenage daughters,
okay,
and they walked us through I guess it's the Gorilla Falls Trail area.
okay,
So
right?
we got to see all the primates, and then we went and saw the naked mole rats and
Oh,
everything.
yeah, yeah, okay.
Then they took us behind the scenes where we had to wear vests in order to be able to click in and click out with like carabiner clicks to make sure that we were safe,
Oh, so
right?
okay, just a minute here. So you wore vests with clickers on them, you said? Or
Hmm. Yeah, they have like little carabiners so
oh,
that
yeah.
you could click onto ropes and you kind of like you could get much closer to the animals that way because they knew that you were safe from falling into the habitats. That's how close we actually were.
Oh my word.
Hmm.
Okay. So you were clipped on. Now, were you standing? Were you in a harness or how did that work?
Stand. So they had ropes set up. So the first place that we went to after the primate trail was we went into the hippo area.
Oh, I love hippos too.
Hmm. And and the hippos were right below us. So they have a gate at the top, and then we were sort of out over on a ledge. And then behind us were ropes. So what they
Oh.
would do is they would click the rope onto you, and you could slide down that rope, just like you do when you go mountain climbing.
Oh my gosh.
Hmm. And then so what they would do is they would they clicked in me, my husband, and my two daughters, and
Okay.
then we got to spend some time out there. And the cast member takes along a camera, and they take photos, and you can get them included in your photo pass.
Oh,
Hmm.
wow.
So they
Wow.
take a picture of you kind of like leaning out with the hippos in the background. It's really intimate. It's very fun. Hmm.
I would love for you, if you could, find those photos to share it with us on the
Oh,
webpage, because
sure, absolutely.
I think that is a
Yeah.
riot. Oh my wo
Yeah, it was a great time. And the cast members were extremely like engaging and really fun, and they knew they had answers to all the questions that we asked. And there was I think four other people in the group with us.
Ah,
They were great.
wow.
Hmm.
Okay, so after the hippos, where did you go?
So with the hippos, then we went across these bridges and we got to see the alligators in their
Oh,
habitat and the flamingos. We actually walked right over top of the alligator habitat, so you could like lean down and look at them.
oh
It was
my.
really fun. There's
Wow.
like rope bridges
Oh my gosh,
and
a rope bridge? Oh my word.
yeah. Yeah,
I
let's go on
don't
that.
know. I don't know if
Oh,
I could
but
do
it's a lot of fun.
that.
If you're afraid of heights, it's kind of scary, but my kids and my husband did okay. So,
Oh, okay. Well, I have done
um,
rope bridges. I remember on a cruise in Roatan, Honduras, and I was really hoping that I didn't have to take it back again, but I had to. And I've been in Ireland on like 85 feet in the air, crossing into a little stone crevice, but not my favorite thing to do. So I might have to think about that one. At least you get giving us a heads up that there are a few little rope bridges in there.
yeah, there are some
Oh,
of those things. So yeah, if you
gosh.
are afraid of heights, then just be wary of that. But if you're so even my husband, who's kind of afraid of heights, you're so engaged in what's going on with the
Yeah.
animals and, getting to the next thing. And of course, we were really excited to see how excited our kids were. So,
Yeah.
you kind of get over that, and then
Okay.
it's totally worth it to do it. Yeah.
Susan, that is joining us, she said, "You are brave." And I'm thinking, yeah, I think so. But I understand the whole engagement part because if you are that engrossed, you don't even realize you're walking on a rope bridge, maybe.
Hmm.
Oh my gosh. Did they take you anywhere else on the, I mean, it's 3 hours,
Oh
so
yeah.
it's fun. Okay.
So we did some of that, and then we excuse me, we went over to the savannah, and we actually got to ride the Kilimanjaro Safari ride.
Okay,
So,
nice. Okay.
hmm
Okay.
but they drove us in a different type of vehicle than the ones that everybody else gets on.
Oh.
So that where we ended up was a small little boma up on the very top of the safari. And if you're riding on the actual Kilimanjaro Safari, if you
Mhm.
look off to the left,
Okay.
right before you get to the elephants, there's
Okay.
a little hut up there, like a boma, and we sat and ate lunch for about a half an hour and just got to watch the animals in the peace and calm without the hustle and
Oh,
bustle. It was absolutely
wow.
beautiful. And the lunch breakfast was so good. The food was really good. My kids really loved it. And it
Oh,
was very calm and just very,
nice.
very enjoyable. Hmm.
Yeah. I know when we stayed at Animal Kingdom Lodge and we had a safari view, I'll never forget just sitting out on my veranda watching the giraffes eat. And I don't know, but it was just surreal. It was like, where in the world can you really do that except if you're in Africa? And it was, I
Exactly.
understand.
Hmm.
Yeah, I understand what you're talking about peaceful. Guys, if you ever have a chance, stay one night, even in Animal Kingdom Lodge, because it is really amazing to have those animals outside. And nothing, they're not rushed. They're not, there's no stampedes. They're just chilling the whole time,
Yeah.
so
Hmm.
you kind of pick that up, don't you? Oh
Yeah.
gosh.
Absolutely. And the food was really good too. So,
Yeah, oh, I
I mean, the
bet.
camping was great, the company was great, the food was great, and the view was fantastic.
Yeah, wow. And so what did you do after lunch then, Amy?
So then I think we wrapped it up, and we were able to spend some time at some of these kind of like lookout areas from the
Oh,
Boma that we were at.
oh, cool.
So we
Okay.
got to take pictures. The lions were just up, sort of, laying around, and
Mm,
I got some really good close-up photography of them.
nice.
Um, yeah. So then with the photo payoff, they took a bunch of pictures of us. Excuse me, sorry.
Sorry.
And they included those in with a series of photographs that is sort of like the ones that they take normally,
Mhm.
so that you get about 300 photos when you're done with your tour.
Holy cow. Wow, that's amazing. And
Yeah, like I said, it was worth every penny. And what they do also is part of the money that you spend on the tour goes towards conservation.
nice.
And you get to pick which animal you want your money to go towards. And you
Oh,
get these little rocks at the end of the tour. And then there's, I think, rhinoceros, giraffe, elephant, and a fourth one. And you can put your rock in the box of the animal that you choose your money from the tour to go towards.
oh, that's
Hmm.
that's beautiful. That's something I always I donate to when I'm there because I know that donation to their conservation fund is going to be used very well, and I can trust the source, so I
Hmm.
always try to donate every time I go there. But that's so neat. So what did you guys donate to?
I definitely donated to the rhinoceros.
Oh, did you? Okay. All right.
Hmm. And my youngest daughter did elephant.
Okay, nice. So, 2 out of 3 excursions, and the one that I was interested in as well, of course, is the VIP Nights of Adventure. VIP kind of
Hmm.
perked me up, to begin
Yeah.
with, and then a night adventure, didn't even know that those quite existed in Walt Disney World. So what tell me
We
about
there. We
that.
were lucky to get this one.
Really?
This
Okay.
yeah, this was also worth every penny. When you go into this one, though, you have to. It's not like Keys to the Kingdom. It's not behind the scenes. You don't get to see a whole bunch of the operational stuff.
Okay.
But what they do is they do a very good job of making this VIP for sure. They make you feel like you are, the only people in a very, very busy amusement park. Um,
Mm,
we started out at Dinosaur, and
okay.
we rode from Dinosaur then in like a counterclockwise or clockwise all the way around the park. And we went through the Fast Pass line,
Oh,
and we got to ride that. And then when we were done with that, we went over to Pandora, and we got to spend some time. First, we went on the Flight of Passage, which we basically just walked right on.
yeah, that's kinda
Um,
cool.
yeah, that was definitely cool because this was the first time that we were down there to be able to ride it.
Oh,
So we got
okay.
to walk that.
Mhm,
And then we walked over to the Navi River journey and did that one.
mhm.
And then we took some time at the Satuli Canteen. And what they do is for the tour, they set it up. I think there was about a dozen people on the tour with us.
Okay.
So six of us sat at one table and then six sat at another table.
Mm.
And they did the shared family protein meal
Right.
where it comes
Mhm,
out with different meats and then rice, or I think it was rice.
mhm.
You get a dessert, you get a drink, and you get these really cool little like light up necklaces, which was really fun. My
Mm.
kids liked that.
Mhm,
And we sat and had a nice resting time there at the Satuli Canteen.
mhm.
And then we got to do some of the just kind of like looking around and shopping because Pandora in the evening is so cool with all the
Right.
lights.
Yeah, I know. I almost lose my family in there unless they're wearing something white, because I
Yeah.
can't see 'em. And Stan just, sorry, Amy, I'm just gonna interrupt. Stan was just wondering what this tour was. He missed it. It's the VIP Nights of Adventure, Stan, that we're talking about. Anyways, continue,
Mhm.
Amy. Yeah, continue.
All right. So then when we were done in Pandora, then we went north up to Africa and we rode Kilimanjaro Safari, which I've never ridden in the evening.
Yeah.
So that was a new experience for us
Mhm.
and really cool because they say, the animals start to get active right before they put them in their enclosures in the evening
Right.
and that you kind of see them in a different way. And it was true. It was really fun to go through it because the day before was when we had done the Wild Africa Trek.
Oh, you did them back to back. Oh my
Yeah.
word.
Hmm.
Did oh,
Yeah.
so did you do 2 on one, visit or and 1 on another, or did all 3?
We did all three on the same
Oh!
visit. Yeah, my family really loves Animal Kingdom.
Yeah. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh. That's so cool. Okay,
Yeah.
continue. Oh gosh.
So we had seen the animals in the safari or in the savannah in the morning on the first day, and then on the second evening was when we saw them at night. So it was really cool to see the contrast of the animals in the morning versus in the evening. So that was a
Mhm.
lot of fun.
Mhm. What do you prefer? I'm curious to know.
I still prefer the morning.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for
I like
sure.
it
But I was
too,
sad I couldn't
fresh
do it
and
in the
yeah.
evening.
Yeah, I'm kind of that way too. I'll try to get on the
Mhm.
very first one out, and then sometimes you can do it back to back because the park is barely opened, right? So, oh my
Mhm.
gosh. Okay, so
Yep.
at night they were I mean, you could still see some of them. I mean, that was probably
Yeah.
just
Mhm. Yep.
sunset almost,
Yep.
or yeah.
It was close to sunset.
Okay.
And so that was just cool to to say that we did it in the evening and to kind
Mhm.
of like you said see them in a different light.
Yeah.
Like the animals are moving around a little bit more because they're getting antsy, I think, to go. Um, the
Yeah,
ones with
dinner's going to be served probably in their
right for
enclosure,
dinner.
right? Yeah.
Right. So, they were standing around and we got to see them, close. So that was fun.
Mm.
And then after that, we went over to Expedition Everest, which is one of our favorite rides, like in
Okay.
all of this. And it was so fun because we never got to ride that at night either. So that was a new experience. And the cast members were even saying how it was really cool. You have to ride it at night. It's this really great experience. And
Oh.
because we had been spending so much time with these cast members, like we
Mhm.
were, really getting to know them, and they're very personable.
Mm.
So we had a great time. We went through, we did the Fast Pass ride with the Expedition Everest, and they
Mhm.
were kind of like, oh, well, we have a little bit of time. Do you want to ride it again? And my kids were like, yes.
Oh, wow.
So we actually rode it 3 times in a row.
Oh.
It's the funnest. Yeah. I mean, they just felt so special. I mean, I felt special. It was
Well,
really, really
yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And
And,
what would I just want to interject because I'd only ridden that one time during
mm-hmm.
the day. So was it quite different in the night or was it
It was really different at night because
really?
when you go through the tunnels and stuff,
Mm-hmm.
like there's a huge difference from the drop and the feeling, and from during the day you go from this high contrast of like bright white sunlight, and then into the tunnel and it's dark.
Right.
So at night it's kind of like spookier, and it's just really cool.
Okay. Keep that in mind. I might have to
Mm-hmm.
try that one, even though I only said I'd do it once.
Maybe you have to do it twice. Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. Continue. This is amazing. All the little tips and all that.
Oh yeah, the cast members really make you feel really special. It was really fun.
Yeah.
We then, when we were done with that, then we went over to Rivers of Light, and we had really great seats for that. And we had not seen that up to this point yet either. This was our first time seeing the Rivers of Light.
Mm.
That was like a really nice, calm way to end the day, because
Hmm.
it had been like so hustle and bustle, and and
Yeah.
you don't feel rushed at all. You certainly don't feel like that.
Right.
But it's the end of an evening, and we had done some of the park earlier in the day, and then went
Hmm.
and did the VIP.
Right.
So we got to like sit and just be calm, and I think Rivers of Light is a beautiful experience.
Isn't it
So
beautiful? Yeah, I agree. I
it
think
really
it's
is. Mm-hmm.
really it is a really nice way to end. But the thing is you guys were on the move for your whole time. How many hours was that tour?
I think that was 5 hours. I think it was around five
Okay.
hours.
Okay. Were
Mm-hmm.
there
Mm-hmm.
any age constraints on any of the tours, Amy? Like did you have to
I
be
think you have to be at least 11 years
Oh,
old,
okay, good.
but
Okay.
don't quote me on that. But
No,
yeah, you
okay.
do have to be a certain age, and you do have to for VIP. You don't. It doesn't matter. But for the Wild Africa treks, I don't think you can be over a certain weight limit because
Oh,
of being able to click in with the carabiners.
well,
But
that
they have
makes
that all
sense.
listed.
Right.
Mhm.
And you don't want to, some people kind of try to fudge the height restriction. I know I've heard of kids kind of lifting themselves
Putting
up
on
a
high,
little bit, stuff like
right?
that. But you don't want to mess with the weight restriction because I
Yeah,
don't
you should
think you want to be going through that bridge or, something else, right?
definitely not. That is not a good idea.
And if it's in question, God forbid if there was a scale out there in front of everybody having to weigh
Oh,
yourself.
look, they do weigh you.
Oh,
They
okay.
do.
All right.
Before you do the wild safari trek, or the
Okay.
wild Africa trek, they actually weigh you.
Oh, wow. Well, makes
Mm-hmm.
sense. Safety first. That's
Yep, because
Disney all the way,
safety.
right?
Correct.
Yeah.
Yep.
Holy cow. Stan was asking this and I was thinking about the same thing. Out of the three, barring cost, tell me your favorite in the order of the three.
Wow.
I know, sorry.
It's so hard. So the Nights of Adventure and the Wild Africa trek are the same price.
Okay.
So I would have to say the Wild Africa trek for my family, just because we really love the animals. We really love Animal Kingdom. So the behind the scenes stuff was really cool.
Okay.
And being able to sit in the savannah in that boma and just watch the animals quietly and eat lunch was great.
And be very up
Um,
close and personal with a lot of the
yeah,
animals. Yeah.
yeah,
Wow. Okay.
absolutely.
Okay.
So that would be our
Number
number one.
one. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Second
And
one
then
would
I think
be
the Nights of Adventure,
okay.
because that was just so cool. Like that was like just blew. blew any expectation out of the water. Just the fun that we had, doing all that adventurous and like really fun stuff and all the
Mhm.
really cool rides.
Sounds
And the
wonderful.
Caring for Giants was, it was definitely worth the money. It was only $30 per person. So I
Oh,
mean, why wouldn't you throw
yeah.
in, an hour long thing for $30?
Exactly. No, that's absolutely you're absolutely right. And I think that if you are there, just make sure ahead of time that you plan for it, right? Because it probably costs a
Right.
bit, right?
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
because it includes your meal and VIP, anything would be,
Right.
I would imagine, a pretty penny. So
Yeah.
yeah, I would. Is there any sort of tips on for people to prepare? Obviously, you want to have they probably say good walking shoes, but is there anything that you might just add in closing, Amy, that you kind of took away from there as far as, oh, you know what, it would be good to have such and such with me or
Yeah.
some yeah.
I think for the Wild Africa trek, I tend to do this as well, but you carry a lot in the park. Like you take a book bag and you have stuff in your pockets, especially if you have children.
Mhm.
Then with the Wild Africa trek, just let it all go. Just don't take stuff to the park that day or leave it in the locker because you don't
Okay.
need it. And
Okay.
just go and enjoy, the animals and forget about I have to take this picture or I have to do this thing. The cast members, they do it for you. So
Okay.
it's your time to just relax and engage
Mm,
in that work itself.
nice. How about water bottles? Do they I mean, they wouldn't
Hmm.
have plastic
They
water bottle
actually
or do
give
they?
no, they give you so on the Wild Africa trek, they gave us they're like they're metal water bottles, and they
Right.
say Animal Kingdom, and you got to keep those. You could take them home with you. They were
Nice.
yours to keep.
Nice.
And
Okay.
then for the VIP nights of adventure, they just gave us bottled water.
Okay, okay. So at least
Hmm.
you have
Yep.
access to water
Oh
where
yeah.
you're okay. And I would imagine bathroom
Yep.
breaks some time or another.
No.
No?
On the Wild Africa trek, there was no bathroom break.
Okay, well that's good to know for
Mhm.
people that to make sure that they would hang on for 3 hours, you said that was? 3?
3 hours, about 3 hours. Yep.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yep.
Gosh, Amy, that is now would you do that again? Do you have plans to do those
Oh yeah.
again? Really? Okay. All
I
right.
I would definitely do.
I would think
Definitely do.
yeah, that's kinda like now that's your one of your Walt Disney experiences, like, that's part of being, a guest at Walt Disney World, I would imagine, for your family, right?
Yeah.
Nice, nice.
Definitely.
Well, Amy, thank you so much for sharing that. When did you go? When did you do
We
this?
were that trip was in June of 2018.
Oh, just
Yep.
last June. Oh, very cool.
Yes.
Oh my gosh. Well, I look forward to some of your photos. So please share with
Yeah.
us.
I'll
That would
post them.
be, yeah,
Yep.
that would be great. Thank you so much, Amy, again for calling.
Well, thank you
And
for having me.
yeah, you're very welcome. And we'll be in touch behind the scenes a little bit later on. But thanks again. Have
Okay,
a
great.
wonderful evening.
Thank you. You too as
All
well.
right. Take care.
All
Bye.
right. All right.
Stan you Solo says he's done the safari at a midnight magic event and there were next to no animals out. Okay, the CM was very entertaining. I think she was a Jungle Cruise skipper. Those Jungle Cruise skippers are very entertaining and it's very interesting to find out where they go after their gigs as skippers. Um and Stan is joking around about animal treats in your pockets. I would imagine that they probably don't want treats, Stan, in your pockets. I do want to say hi to Kate Wallace, Stephen Saunders, Amanda, that have joined us, and John Little. And yeah, I just I think I don't know. I think I'll try the Wild Africa trek first. I think that's well, it's hard to say. I probably do the Wild Africa trek and the Caring for Giants. I'll leave the VIP nights of adventure for another time, but I think those would be absolutely fantastic. I mean, I'm a huge animal lover, and I think that it's just such a cool opportunity for us to experience Africa. Kind of in our own backyard at Walt Disney World, isn't it? Susan said, great info, Amy. Thank you. Yes, Amy, thank you so much for sharing that. I know, Gina, you're talking about the Lion King show, which I absolutely love, and I was very fortunate to be able to see Broadway production this past December. And something that I just want to share with you before we wrap up tonight is that one of the animators on the original Lion King will be our guest next week. He worked on Mulan, I believe Pocahontas, Lion King. No, not Pocahontas, Mulan, Lion King, Rescuers Down Under. And he's going to share some insight about his work on The Lion King, and he actually had the good fortune to see the plans for the one that's coming out, which I absolutely can't wait for. I was picking up some dog food today and had a major conversation with a fellow that worked there about the Lion King, the real life Lion King coming. I can't wait for it to come out. Anyways, yeah, Kate Wallace, her favorite Disney Broadway show. You know what? That is absolutely without a doubt mine too, and I'll never forget that the very first time when they started singing, I just tears went down my face in the when I was in the theater, and I'm pretty sure it touched everybody else. John is talking about my background, rearranged a little bit of backdrop on my shelving. I did actually. I added because I'm writing the Star Wars edition. I put a couple of lightsabers on the back there and C3PO, and just super excited. I will tell you something a little bit just because I was gonna do I'm gonna do another Star Wars night, but I did actually have quite the adventure at he's one of the largest collectors of Star Wars paraphernalia in the world, and I was actually at his house last Saturday night. So that will be for a future program. I will share that with you, but it was super cool, and I've got a few stories to share about that, which is absolutely wild. And it's really kind of neat that he's kind of like a neighbor. Anyways, I don't know if anybody else wants to call in tonight. 844-483-4763 is the number if you want to share something. Melissa says, "Yay, Star Wars. I'm on my way in 9 days with my sister Amy." Was just, oh, hey, Melissa, sister to Amy is on here. She's going to, down to run her first half marathon ever and run Disney events. So I think that's the Star Wars event, right, Melissa? That is really, really cool. That is, I've not run Disney events on property, but the Star Wars one would be absolutely phenomenal since I just can't get over that community of folks. And but yeah, so I'll talk about the Star Wars my experience at the collectors party maybe a few weeks from now. But next week you can join me to hear from an animator who worked on Lion King and a few other of the movies, and he'll share a few stories and kind of talk to you about the animation process and how it all came to be. So I want to wish you all a good night and have a wonderful week. Thank you so much for joining me tonight, and be safe and be well. Take care. Bye for now.